See, Bluey's a hit thing down here. You guys probably realize.
Yeah, because it's an Australian Shepherd,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Blue
He's
hits.
got the accent and everything. I'm like, hey, what's going on? He's like, what the fuck's going on, mate? I'm like, yeah. He's like, did you see this fucking squirrel outside? I'm like, yeah, I did see it. He's like, I'm gonna fucking get it. I'm like, all right, go get it.
Man, you do that so well. You've
I
been
love
here enough time.
Australia. I love Australia so much. Like, I wish I was born in Australia so I had the accent.
You could just walk around and talk like that. People go, "Oh, mate, you're from
That's what I
Australia."
do when I'm nervous. I become Australian when I get a nervous accent. And then when I'm with Australians, it just like kind of comes out and I don't want to be offensive at all, but it's just like I love it.
No, no, it's fine. See, we wouldn't even notice. You could do that.
Yeah. Do that the whole fucking time.
See, there you go. And then you just
Yeah.
got to drop a few C bombs in there, and you'll
Oh
be
yeah.
of us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Pitch it up. You're from New Zealand, so
Oh yeah. A little fucking pitched up then. Yeah.
there you go.
That was a little Canadian twist at
Yeah,
the end of it, but yeah.
yeah, but it's close enough. Still,
Yeah.
but
Love the shirt.
thanks, man. Yeah, I grabbed it. And I was like, oh yeah. Then I realized that hey, you guys did a cover, so there you
Yeah,
go.
we did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
played it. But hey,
Thank you.
Thanks for hanging out on the show, man. It's cool to see you.
For sure. It's good to see you too, man.
Uh,
Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely, man. I love this new Fit for an Autopsy album, The Nothing That Is. Fuck, man.
Thank you.
It's it's
Thanks.
it's so good, man. It's out on October 25, of course, and it's just savage,
Hmm.
man. It starts off with like one of the stompiest riffs
Hmm.
known to man.
Yeah.
It just goes from there. Like
Yeah.
all across the board. It's amazing.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. We put a lot of effort into this one. By we, I mean like Will Putney put a lot of crazy shit in here. So he's a beast, man.
You're a beast. Man, the
Oh well, thank you.
goes on this thing is nuts. Like I'm sorry, I'm not getting all fanboy, but man, it's a fucking great album. And I've been
Thank
cranking
you.
it the last week or so. And
Uh-huh.
I love the last one as well. Oh, what the future holds. But did you feel the pressure going into this after that album just skyrocketed?
No, because I feel like after we finished that record and I see I don't like look at statistics or anything like that, but from what everyone keeps saying in the group chats and everything, I guess that was like our highest like grossing record or so. And usually you would think like that would be like a stressful thing going into writing the next one, like, oh fuck, like are we gonna top that? But like I feel like everyone's been really digging a lot of the new stuff that we've been putting out. So I don't think we were really afraid to put out newer music because we were pretty confident in our sound now that like I'm sure people are going to love it, and I also really hope people are going to love it as well. But I feel like we had a lot more confidence coming into this record because we finally have like blossomed into like what Fit for an Autopsy sound is. And our sound is simply like you never know what you're going to get, but it's fit for an autopsy.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And
Mm.
it's heavy. And not just
Mm.
musically heavy, but like emotionally. Like the thing is fucking bleak as fuck. Uh
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think that's a huge thing that I like to focus on vocally as well, is just making sure that I'm portraying the emotion of the songs as
mm,
well as I can. So it really pulls together the entire vibe of what we're going for, whether it's like sad, angry, mad, angry, like depressed, angry, like I've given up, angry, like all these different types of like angers. It's like, how many different types of angers are there? There are a lot.
there's a few, but it's like
There's
what is Lurch, the song Lurch, for example.
that one's so much fun. Me and Will had a lot of fun recording that one just because I don't know, just the way Lurch is said was just like a lot of fun. We lurch. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's so sick. I don't know why. It was just fun to say it like that. I don't know.
But it's like I think it's a line like the parasitic worms return to the
Hmm.
dirt and there'll be no flowers
Yeah.
when you die. I was like
Yeah.
I was sitting in my car just going, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. The parasitic worms line is fun one too. Just like how it's said, like the enunciation on a lot of this record. I really wanted to like kind of go for very rubber bandy, kind of like all over the place, but like kind of catches. I don't know if that makes sense,
Yeah.
but like very, very jaw heavy, where it was just like very overemphasized.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's really good.
Thank you.
But how did the writing work for this one now that, obviously Will's being so busy with the studio and other projects and things like that, and you guys being
Oh,
in the road, how do you lock in that creativity? Like, how does that flow happen?
well, I mean, Will's the main driving force of the writing process for Fit for an Autopsy. So he always, regardless of how busy that dude is, like he always like he may be really busy, but he's really good at setting time where he needs to have it. So he was working on the record for like a good solid like 3 months, and while we're on tour and while he has a little bit of downtime, he'd be like sending us stuff here and there. And I'm like, dude, this record's gonna sound really, really, really sick. Holy fuck! Like these riffs are cool. Like, um, the that song Red Horizon was like the first song he sent, but like it wasn't called Red Horizon. It was called something else. And all I heard was that wow, 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 and I'm like, yo, that's so cool. Like, what the hell? Like, this is sick. Like, I can't wait to hear the rest of it. So, um, I mean, the process hasn't really changed. It's always kind of been like we'll write this entire record while we're on tour doing the thing, and then like we'll make our notes and whatever. But then we just come into the studio and crush the shit out of it and just like have a good time.
Well, vocally, as I just mentioned before, man, you're doing stuff on here that's just insane. And not just the brutal
Thank you.
stuff, like the melodic stuff as well, the clean
Mm,
stuff. You seem to pick and choose the right places to put them. You don't go, okay,
mm.
well, this is the big chorus, so this is going to be, you use it very wisely. And I
I try
think that,
not to force it. I think me and Will are very, very mindful of that too. Is like we don't ever try to force things. We want to make it come natural. So like while we're in the studio working on the songs, um, if a part felt like it needed to be sung, we would do different variants of it. We would do like, all right, let's try it sung, let's try it screamed, let's try hearing them all together. And it's like, all right, what are we really feeling? I was like, I don't like the singing part. I think it would be way cooler if it was like screamed with notes, if it like had a melody in the scream that could make it move the way we wanted it to move. It didn't need to be clean, but there were definitely certain parts where we were like, a little cleaner than what we normally do because I usually have a lot of grit on my voice whenever I'm like doing like any singing because I don't know, it just makes it more of that metal feel. But we kind of just like said fuck it, and we're just like, let's go a little like more broad, cleaner on like some of these things where it doesn't have to sound like whiny or anything, but it can sound like, I don't know, we can make it sound really good. So it was just that was a lot of fun, just like testing out all these different voices and just seeing all the things that I'm just figuring out about my voice over the years. It's like these things just come. It's like I practice every day in my car. I'm driving, I'm screaming, I'm singing, I'm doing whatever. But like when I come into the studio, that's when I'm like, experimenting. And every time we write a new record, it's always like a different feeling that I have or a different way to approach a voice that I have. And it's like, it's so interesting to hear it translated into the songs because then we sit back and we listen to it and we're like, where the fuck did that voice come from? I'm like, I don't know. It felt right. It just felt right. No training or anything. It's just, just pure emotion, raw emotion. And I feel like that's when you write your best work and you do your best work is like when you're not trying, you're just doing it. And it just felt right. Everything felt right. So we had a lot of fun with this one.
with some of those, vocal tricks that you've discovered,
Hmm.
have you tried? How's it going to translate live for you physically? Are there certain things that you did where you challenged yourself and you go, okay, now I've got to work out how to do that and maneuver
Yeah,
it?
because there's definitely a lot of parts in there where it's just like there's singing and screaming over it. And for the most part, I'll do most of the screams live. But for parts that like make sense where it should be sung, I'll sing it.
Yeah.
But there's certain parts where I'm gonna have more of like a gritty sing. It's not gonna be full on clean because we have to have like I have to find a way to blend all of them to make it sound like one. There's so many voices. So I just try to be pick and choosy on what I'm doing live and like what's feasible, what's like what's real, but not so far away from the actual sound of the part where the fans aren't listening to it. Like, oh man, I kind of wish he did this. It's just like, yeah, that's like a cool way to do that. You kind of hear both voices in it, you know?
Did
So
clean?
I like that. I always think that's a challenge.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And did clean singing? Let me start that again. Holy shit, I need my. Did clean singing? Yep, English. Come first for you as a vocalist? Was that where?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was in like um post-hardcore bands growing up, and I was listening to some real emo shit as a kid, you know. I didn't really get into like super heavy stuff until like a couple years before I joined Fit, you know. I wasn't like a huge metal guy before that. So I was um like pop punky and like kind of like a lot of singing stuff. Like I don't know. I listened to a lot of what was that? Why can't I'm forgetting the name of the band that I listened to so friggin' much of. Um I guess we'll just say like Silverstein and Seosin and Take It Back Sunday and Glassjaw was a huge one for
Oh
me.
man,
Yeah, I grew up in Long Island, so like we're all from the same area, so I'd see them play so much, and it was just like yes, 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 yes. But I grew up on that kind of stuff, and then I only got into like heavier vocals like a couple of years before I joined Fit, and that's why I was so surprised when I got the gig. I was just like, damn, like this is fucking cool. Cause like Fit was like one of my favorite bands that was doing those kind of harsher vocals, you know, along with like bands like Whitechapel and stuff. But Nate Johnson was like a huge inspiration vocally for me. And I was just like, this is fucking crazy. I can't believe I'm like being considered for this right now. But like I said, I just like did what I felt was right in that moment. When they asked me to do like the tryout, and it was enough for them. So
did you have to adjust the way you approached vocals for Fit? You know what I mean? Being obviously it is slightly a different technique. Obviously, the breathing and stuff is there, but you've
had
got
to bring a whole different thing. I had like like I had to rethink everything
yeah.
because I was like in my brain I was like people want to hear Nate Johnson, and then my other side of my brain was like, but they also want to hear you. They don't want to hear you trying to be Nate Johnson. So stop trying to, or don't try to do the thing where you want to sound like Nate because you want to be the Fit for an Autopsy Nate vocalist. You want to be yourself and you want to find your own voice. So the first couple albums was me trying to find my own voice and like trying to figure out what's going to be cool and what's going to work for me. And I think I'm finally at that place where I'm feeling pretty confident with my voice and what I'm able to do and what I'm capable of doing. And I feel like I've focused really hard on making sure I scream very legibly. My mother always used to tease me when she would hear me listening to this machine. You never understand what they're saying. I was like, yeah, but like, I don't know. When I do it, I want you to understand what I'm saying. So she can't say that anymore. So I even still have her listen to some of my songs. And she's like, I still don't know what you're saying, but I love you. You're so sweet. I was like, oh, thanks, mom. I did this for you, but I guess like you don't fucking care. It's cool. It's whatever.
Hey, wait,
No, but hmm?
sorry, you just continue what you were saying.
Oh no, yeah. So that's been my main focus. Like, how do I sound really fucking brutal, but also where you can really understand what I'm saying, so the words have meaning to
Mm.
it. You know, it's I don't want to make noises or just sounds and stuff. Like, I think that's what I didn't like about that kind of metal genre when I was like trying to like segue into listening to more heavier stuff because I was like. I kind of don't understand what they're saying, so I'm not really like feeling the lyrics. You know, I was a very emotionally driven person, so not to say that that stuff sucks. I think that that shit's great, and like it now, I have an appreciation for it because I listen to all these like different spectrums of metal, and I'm just like, man, some of these tones these guys have are crazy. But yeah, for me, I've just focused really hard on like saying shit as brutal as possible with you being able to understand the words I'm saying, so it sounds even more pissed off.
Yes. See, I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
work that out now. See, the lower I
Mm-hmm.
go,
Mm-hmm.
it's the money. Obviously, the money it gets because you have to
Yeah.
really
Well,
drop.
that's why I think you can notice that I mostly sit in a very comfortable mid range, but
Yeah.
even like lower mids, like I have a pretty low mid range, you know, I can get into a really low mid that you can understand. But once you step out of that, that's when you go into unlegible. where you're just like going super low. It's like, yeah, you're going for tone and something that sounds like the word you're saying, which is cool. That totally works. But especially on albums for me, uh, I'll just try to get as low as I can where you can understand what I'm saying. And like sometimes that's just a really low mid, but sometimes I'll do some like really low like gutturals that like you can understand what I'm saying still. But I mean live when I hit those it's just much more fun to just sometimes just not say the word, just make the noise, you know?
Or you,
Sometimes it's cool.
or you forget the words. I've done that a few times, and I just go. Brr, brr, brr,
Oh
brr.
man, like that's like the craziest thing to me is just like I'll be like so locked into the song and then all of a sudden I'm just like, did I just say the first verse again?
Yep, yep.
I did. I totally did. What the, I'm just like I'm too locked in. I'm too locked in
Yeah.
right now.
It's like you got to reel yourself back in. That happens to me.
Yeah, yeah,
Did you just fucking? But it's, you released the Aggression Sessions EP last year with Thy Art and Malevolence, and
yeah.
I love that cover as mentioned. Under a
Mm-hmm.
Third Sun.
Good shirt.
Fuck,
Hmm.
so good.
Thank you.
I mean,
That's
you've done,
crazy too, because like I know this is probably like a sin, but I didn't get into At the Gates until like because I told you I got into like listening to a lot of metal
yeah,
like way later on in my life, and like when I joined FIT, they got me into like listening to a lot of these other bands, being At the Gates being one of them. So when we had to do that cover, they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this song." I was like, "Never heard that song," and they're like, "What?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm sorry. Just I'm learning. I mean, they're sick. They're fucking awesome. Like I see where you guys got a lot of your inspiration from with that band. Like, but I might have just missed that song. I don't fucking know. I'm sorry." They're like, "Well, they were all like stressing. Like you're gonna have to figure. You're gonna have to do this then. Like we're gonna have to rip this." And I was like, "I mean, fucking fine. I'll just listen to it." And I just listened to it, and I was like, I could do this voice. Like it's fucking easy. I don't know. They thought it was going to be like a 3 4 hour ordeal where it was just like, man, the voice was going to be really important on this. And I was like, sure. All right, let's just try it. Let's just hit record. Um, 15 minutes later, the song was done vocally. And I was like, dude, what was so hard about that? They're like, I don't know where you pull out these like random voices that you just have. I'm like, I don't know. I love Jim Carrey growing up and he like manipulated voices his whole life. So I feel like I have fun doing the same thing. So it was cool. It was cool doing that. And it was like, it also added another voice to my artillery, you know? And
yeah.
I kind of use a little bit of that voice in Savior of None, Ashes of All, like the first like verse is
Mhm.
kind of like that at the gatesy like high where it's like very throaty, you
Yes,
know?
Limbo.
Yeah. So
He's a great man. He's one of my favorites. He's such a
he's phenomenal. The more I listen to it, the more I appreciate it and understand why, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Raw.
Late to the game, but you know, still love the shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Is there anyone,
Mm-hmm.
is there any covers? I mean, you did The Perfect Drug as well. Is there a cover
Mm-hmm.
that is on your bucket list that you'd love to put your own spin on?
Yeah, that just I'm the youngest guy in the band. I mean, I'm 35, so it's really not that young. Um, but like as far as music taste wise, like they're like, yeah, we just don't want to do like those bands. I was like, all right, well, I don't know. There's like like we did the Lamb of God one. That one was fun for me. I was like, finally, a fucking cover that I want to do. Let's do this. Let's fucking go. And that was fun. That was really fun. Um, but yeah, there's a few other bands I'd love to do like covers of. Shit, I can't think of them now. Yeah, I don't know what else I'd love to cover right now. Maybe like I mean, a Metallica song would be fun to do just to have a super fucking heavy version of a song.
Mm.
You know, I'm sure bands have done it before. I haven't really listened to a lot of covers of them, but um, I mean, there's a band that called A Life Once Lost that I used to love like back in the day. Do you remember that band?
No.
Dude, go listen to A Life Once Lost. The album I believe is called Vultures. Or
Okay.
maybe that's the name of the song. You'll hear that riff and you'll be like, "What the fuck is this band?" Yeah,
Okay.
it's sick. If you like Lamb of God, you'll really like that band.
All right, I'm gonna check them out.
It's got like a southern twang to it. I don't know what it is with me and southern shit. I love southern hip hop and like southern metal. So
Like He Is Legend. You're gonna He Is Legend.
I actually love He Is Legend. I actually really like that band a lot. Like, it's funny. I actually, for a school talent show, the band, the school band that I was in was like, let's do a He Is Legend song. I was like, really? I mean, I'm down. Like, they're like, yeah, you're like, you could scream, right? I was like, we'll figure it out. Maybe I can. And we did the Seduction. I
Yeah.
don't know if you remember that song.
Yeah, dude. It's like one of the
Yeah,
best.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's that fucking album was phenomenal. That White Bat album also was sick. It
Oh,
had some like Gojira vibes in there too. I was like, what the fuck, dude? I
yeah,
love that band.
yeah,
And I live in North Carolina now. I think they live in the Carolinas. I think they're like in Raleigh or something. So, yeah, I would love to fucking meet those dudes. Those guys are awesome.
yeah, man. I love them. One of my favorites. But
Yeah.
you got a hectic touring schedule coming up. Like
Oh yeah.
a couple of days, and it's just straight
Yeah.
through. Fuck man,
Yeah.
you're gonna
Yeah.
need.
It's just US, Europe, and then home for like 2 months, and then I don't think I'm allowed to say the rest yet. So
Oh,
I
come
know,
on,
I
mate.
know, I know we've got some festivals coming up and stuff, which are going to be really cool. Some festivals we're going to announce, and um, yeah, unsure of what I'm allowed to actually say. So,
And what
but we
about
do have a pretty hectic schedule.
Australia?
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Like, it's my favorite country on the planet. So,
Oh,
I
you're
mean, if
just
we
saying.
don't, and no, I fucking swear to God, mate. I swear to God, fucking, if I could live there for the rest of my life, eat some fucking Maccas. Did you see that that America finally took you guys' Big Mac with the chicken sandwiches now?
What?
Yeah. It was like a couple days ago. It just came to America that we have. They're like, this just in, Big Mac with chicken patties. I was like, Australia's been had that.
Yeah, man. Add some bacon to that shit. Ooh.
I didn't do that, but holy fuck, I'm
See?
gonna.
Hey,
Next
man.
time I'm in Brizzy,
Brizzo.
Brizzo.
Yeah, you go fucking
Some people
Brisbane.
call it Brizzy.
Brizzo. It could be
Brizzy,
either.
Brizzo.
Briz
I
Vegas.
can. I love it over there.
Good time.
Yeah, Brisbane's cool. Sydney's cool. Melbourne's awesome. I love Melbourne. Where are
Gold,
you?
Gold Coast. So I'm between,
Gold Coast.
yeah, I'm just south of Brizzo.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not far. I'm about maybe 40 minutes an hour. And we've got the
Oh, that's not bad at
beaches,
all.
we've got the mountains, we've got all the theme parks.
Yeah, you got everything over there. It's beautiful.
You gotta come to
What's that what's that barcade over there? I love that place. I can't remember the name of it though.
Underworld.
Underworld, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's good, man. I'm all
Place
about.
is rules.
If you couldn't tell, I'm one of those
Yeah.
40-year-old virgins that's got kids. But but anyway, dude, it's been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you. We're gonna have all the links down here in the show notes and on the website.
For sure.
Thanks for hanging out, dude, and go have a fucking good tour, mate.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It was very nice to meet you, dude.
Yeah, you too. Hopefully, we can
Thank
catch
you.
up when you're down.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, when we're in Oz, just let me know. I'd love to come smash down a burger with you.
Yeah, burgers and beers.
Yeah.
Let's go. So
Let's freaking go. Let's do it.
fucking go. Yeah.
Let's fucking go, cunt. Can I say that?
Oh, yeah, you can. That's staying.
Ah,
That's staying. That's
yeah,
real. But,
yeah.
have a good one, bro. Enjoy the
Thanks,
tour.
bro. You too, man.